Welcome to Planet Algo, where we discuss all things about the Algorand network. Today's topic will be, what is consensus? This will continue our theme of blockchain basics utilizing Algorand. Now in our last video we discussed what is a blockchain, and I would highly suggest you watch that first because consensus is a required attribute of blockchains. So if you haven't watched that, I'm going to put a link down below and I would suggest doing that. We learned in the last video that blockchain is a decentralized network of nodes that validate transactions in what are called blocks, and that the blockchain provides immutability, security, and transparency. And finally, that the blockchain is largely decentralized. And when we say decentralized, that means there is no central authority present to validate and verify these transactions that are being added in the blocks. Yet every block that is added to a blockchain is considered to be verified. Well, you might ask, how is this possible? Well, the reason for this is what's called the consensus protocol. And this is the critical part of any blockchain network. Well, a consensus protocol is basically a way for all of the nodes on a blockchain network to come into a common agreement on what transactions are valid or not. So when we were discussing this, we went through this, and you can see that basically these rounds are being put up, they're being proposed, they go through, they all agree upon what transactions should be included in this block. They then agree that all these transactions are recorded correctly, and then once this is all verified, they all agree to add it to the blockchain. So this block points to the last block. And remember that none of these nodes on a network trust each other. That is, that blockchain is typically what we call a trustless environment. So if we were to summarize all of this, then a consensus protocol is simply a way for all of these participating nodes to communicate with each other in a trustless way and reach a common agreement on the next block to be added to the blockchain. There are many different types of consensus protocols. I will go ahead and list them, but I will leave it for a later video to explain them in depth. So the most popular one that you have likely heard of is proof of work. This is utilized by Bitcoin. The next one you definitely have heard of is proof of stake. This is what Algorand is run on. Algorand specifically runs on a version of proof of stake called pure proof of stake. You can see the website right here. I will link to it down below. Now there are a lot of other types of consensus protocols, but most of these are not as popular as proof of stake or proof of work. We also have proof of capacity, which is utilized by, I believe, Helium. You have the proof of time, which is used by Solana, and so on and so forth. Well, I hope you enjoyed our video today. If so, please be sure to smash that like button down below and subscribe if you haven't already. Also, if you have any questions or comments, leave them down in the comment section below. I do try to get to everything as quick as possible. If you have any suggestions for videos, leave that for me also. We do have a Facebook group now. You can look us up, Planet Algo, on Facebook. I will be happy to add anybody. And then last but not least, I would like to make a shout out to my son's site, blazingAmazingArt.com. That is on YouTube. If you have kids that like to draw, please be sure to direct them to Blazing Amazing Art. He's always releasing new videos, and he's a very good teacher on showing people how to draw things. All of you have a great day, and I'll see you next video.